Welcome back to the 6 a.m. Club where we start our day inspired. Today, I am bringing you another powerful and empowering quote that says, "Stop shrinking to fit in places you've outgrown." Let me repeat that one more time because I want this to sink. Stop shrinking to fit places that you've outgrown. Let me ask you, have you ever felt like that? Have you ever felt like you're trying to squeeze into spaces that no longer suit who you've become? Whether it's a job, a relationship, or even your own self perception. Today, it's all about recognizing when it's time to step out and expand into the person that you're meant to be. In life, we're constantly evolving. The person you are today isn't the same person you were a year ago or even a month ago. But sometimes we don't realize how much we've grown until we start feeling constrained by the places, by the people, by the roles that in which we've been in for a while. It's that uncomfortable feeling, like trying to wear clothes that are too small. That is a sign that you've outgrown where you are. And this isn't something to be afraid of. This isn't something bad. Totally the opposite. It's a natural part of the journey. And the first step is to recognize that discomfort for what truly is. It's just a signal that it's time to move on. Often we shrink ourselves into spaces just to fit into spaces that we've outgrown because here are a few reasons why we do that. Because it feels safe and it feels familiar. Maybe you don't want to rock the boat. Maybe you're afraid of what others might think. Or perhaps you doubt your ability to thrive in a new and different environment. But here's the thing. Shrinking yourself doesn't serve you or anyone else. When you hold back, you're not only limiting your own potential, but you're also denying the world and the people around you, the people that you love that are important to you, of the full expression of who you are. So it's time to stop hiding and start living your truth. Stepping out of spaces that you've outgrown takes courage. So let's talk about it for a second. It takes courage. It means being willing to embrace uncertainty and to trust that there's something better waiting for you, even if you can see it yet. Think of it like a plant that has outgrown its pot. If it stays in that cramped space, its growth will be stunned, right? But if you transplant that same plant into a bigger pot, now it has more room to spread its roots and it will flourish. And the same goes for you and for me. It's time to give yourself the space to grow, even when it feels scary at first. So, how do you start expanding into the person that you're meant to be? Well, I think I just answered that question. You transplant yourself to a bigger pot. You need to take a good look at your life and identify the areas where you feel restricted. What are those pots that feel constrained? Is it your job? Is it your relationships? Is it your own mindset? Is it your habits? And then start envisioning what it would look like to fully step into your power in those areas. What changes would you need to make? What would you need to let go of? Because remember, growth often requires letting go of what no longer serves you. And then finally, take action, no matter how small. Each step that you take towards expansion is a step towards living a more authentic and fulfilling life. And for me, that expansion looks like stepping outside of your comfort zone. You're pushing the walls of your comfort zone. You're expanding that comfort zone. You're growing that pot. You're moving into a bigger pot. And when you move into that bigger pot, when you push out your comfort zone, it is going to feel scary. There's going to be a lot of uncertainty. You might doubt, again, your ability to thrive in that environment that is not longer familiar to you. But remember, growth only happens outside of your comfort zone. Maybe it's time to evaluate those areas of your life and think about, how can I expand in that area? What would it take? How would it look like? What am I capable to do in this space if I just transplant myself to a bigger pot? As we wrap up today's episode, I want to leave you with this last thought. And that is, you were not meant to stay small. Life is about growth, and growth requires space. I once heard any living being is either growing or is dying. Those are the options. Either you're growing or you're dying. And I think life is about growth, and growth requires space. So don't be afraid to step out of those places that you've outgrown. Trust that by doing so, you're making room for something bigger and something even better for your life. Until next time, keep growing, keep expanding, and remember, you deserve to take up space. You are meant to constantly be growing, to constantly be expanding, so you can realize your full potential. I hope you have a great day and a great week ahead, and I'll talk to you again next week here on the 6 a.m. Club.